In case you watched and or read the god tier manga known as Hunter x Hunter and found yourself confused or still have many questions that require answers, I will be making a series of videos to teach you coons exactly how Nen works. And for these videos, I plan on making them as legit as possible, so if you do see something wrong with what I say in the video, please point it out because I'll definitely re-upload it and fix my information. And for the last note in this video, I'll only be using the transcripts from the Bible itself to make such bold claims. But anyways, let's get on to the meat of this video. Enhancement Nen abilities are actually pretty not. I'd say enhancement abilities are extremely confusing. Like, you'd think it would be a simple, I make my fist harder than what it originally was. But no, that's not actually the case, because nobody really seems to understand how Enhancement Nen really works. A majority of new fans think enhancement abilities are purely based on durability. As in, oh, if I use Enhancement Nen, my body just gets stronger. This is correct, but this only applies for the simplest forms of enhancement. You see, the thing is, enhancement isn't just making your body stronger, but it's more or less along the lines of changing the physical capabilities of your body as a whole. To put it in a broader sense, or broader terms, enhancement changes your body entirely. Basically, in the world of Hunter x Hunter, if you were to master enhancement, you could literally be like Luffy from One Piece. You could turn yourself into rubber, or you could be like Ace from One Piece, turn yourself into fire. As long as you've mastered enhancement and you're creative enough to do these things, you could, turn your body into rubber if you wanted to. The possibilities are literally endless. Yes, you can turn your body into rubber. I'm not making this up. Enhancement is literally using Nen to change your body. As a transmuter, you can literally change the properties of your Nen, making it turn into gum or electricity. Now, if you took characters like Killua and Hisoka and they became master enhancers, they could turn their bodies into gum or electricity. I know this concept of enhancement is kinda hard to digest if you just watch the anime for Hunter x Hunter, because we've never really seen it since they cut out Ranmat's Hatsu. But when Ranmat starts to beat the shit out of Killua, in the manga, he actually enhances the feathers on his body and turns them into blades. And no, this would not be conjuration, because these are two different things. He's actually taking the part of his body and turning it into a blade. Please note, this would not be conjuring or manipulation, because manipulation is when you take an object and you change it, and conjuring is when you create an object. The thing is, which makes it enhancement, is because he's changing his physical body. Another example of enhancement would be Yuppie's Hatsu metamorphosis. A lot of people would like to say that Yuppie's able to transform his body because he has magical beast genes instead of being a human-animal hybrid like the other Chimera ants. So because he's the only one with magical beast genes, this allows him to use a Hatsu that lets him transform. But that's clearly not the case, because we get a regular Chimera ant that is half human and half animal, Ranmat, and we see him turn his arms into blades. So it's not because Yuppie is a mystical beast, it's because he's so good at enhancement. To clarify, the only thing that his mystical beast genes do to him is that they make him a lot less human, because he had no real individuality, because he didn't care about his human past self. And this would inevitably make him stronger, if you read the panel. But other than that, Yuppie would be the perfect example of a master enhancer. He has a monstrous Nen pool that allows him to transform his body into anything he wants. To clarify, yes, this is a Nen ability, not a natural born gift. So as crazy as this sounds, if Gon was nice enough or creative enough with Nen, he could actually grow wings or turn his arm into a sword. The cool part about this is, you can really see the Yu Yu Hakusho bleeding into Hunter x Hunter. Like when Sensui turned his hand into a gun against Yusuke. Hunter x Hunter characters are capable of doing these types of things. In fact, we actually have a character that literally turns their hand into a gun. Ikalgo literally does this while fighting Bravuda. And this is what makes it so confusing to understand. And it's why I don't blame the wiki for making mistakes, because Togashi never flat out said that Ikalgo used an enhancement ability. because at this point in the story, he assumes the reader already has a clear understanding of Nen. That's why Togashi just kinda implies it with this line of dialogue. Ikalgo possessed the ability to manipulate corpses, but he never before dirtied his hands with another's blood. He turns his hand into a gun. He doesn't make the gun. That's why it would be enhancement and not conjuration. But he does conjure the bullets. For example, Welfin's Missile Man is conjuration because he makes the missile. They are not a part of his body, but instead an accessory, or just a weapon, considering it's basically just a rocket launcher on his back. So maybe if Missile Man was actually a part of Welfin, it would be an enhancement ability. Because at that point, it would be no different than Ikalgo turning his hand into a gun. And just in case, if you still don't think that Nen is what causes them to transform, I have this little example of Zeno getting ready to use his Dragon Head ability, and you can see that Togashi drew this aura coming off of his hand, signifying that he is indeed using Nen. And this same aura-like design in the background can be found while Yuppie enhances his body to have wings for the first time, and while Ikalgo enhances his arm into the form of a gun. And also, I do realize Ikalgo is a manipulator, but that doesn't mean he can't use enhancement abilities, especially when you take into consideration that he's a Chimera Ant. And I do plan on making a video when I explain what exactly certain abilities are when they're used at the same time. For example, Ikalgo enhances his arm into a gun and he conjures bullets to use them. So he's using enhancement and conjuring abilities at the same time. In Shoot, when he uses his manipulation ability and uses Hotel Rafflesia, he's using manipulation and conjuring at the same time. And that's what happens when you take different Nen types and use them in unison. Your Nen ability then becomes a lot more complex, and that allows for you to be a lot more open-minded when making a Hatsu. So yeah, if you get creative with Nen, all these things are possible. When you really think about it, you can really see why Enhancer is the strongest Nen type. You can literally do almost anything with it. Kurapika was able to heal his body with Enhancement. It really just boils down to how creative you are with your powers. You could become rubber like Luffy, made of electricity, or keep it simple by making your body extremely durable. Who knows, maybe we'll see more of what Enhancement has to offer later on in the series. But yeah, I think that's enough for this video. Just remember, Enhancement really is just changing your own physical properties.